Netgear AC797 promises pocket internet freedom, up to 400 Mbps LTE, secure Wi-Fi anywhere, and all-day battery. Either we've reached affordable go-anywhere connectivity or it's another case of shiny specs and real-world letdown. On paper, you get an unlocked 4G hotspot, AC1200 Wi-Fi, up to 11 hours from a 2930 mAh battery, and support for multiple devices, all for about $80.99 with a 3.7-star rating on Amazon. Sounds criminally generous for the price, but here's the thing, mobile networks don't play by spec sheet rules. I actually took this out into the wild. I spent 2 weeks testing the AC797 across coffee shops, a road trip, and at home with SIMs from multiple carriers. I've put the direct link to check current pricing in the description, but before you click anything, let me show you what I discovered after 2 weeks of testing. Here's what the AC797 claims to do. It's marketed as a fast 4G LTE hotspot that can replace unreliable home DSL, keep you connected and protected anywhere, and handle multiple devices without breaking a sweat. Key promises include up to 400 Mbps LTE download speeds, up to 11 hours of battery life on a 2930 mAh cell, connect multiple devices with AC Wi-Fi, unlocked for 3G 4G LTE worldwide, excluding Sprint Legacy in the USA. Sounds convenient, right? Pretty bold claims for under $100, but here's where things get interesting. Reality check, they claim up to 400 Mbps. What you actually get is typical LTE speeds for your area and carrier, which for most people lands between 20 and 80 Mbps down, sometimes spiking to 100-150 Mbps in excellent urban conditions, and often 525 Mbps in congested or rural spots. Here's why that 400 Mbps figure is a theoretical peak for LTE category class hardware under ideal conditions with carrier aggregation, clean spectrum, and close towers. Networks are shared, carriers throttle heavy use, and congestion is real. Here's where it gets mathematically impossible. If your carrier tower is provisioned for 150 Mbps total on your band, you will never see 400 Mbps, no matter what the box says. They claim it works with any network worldwide. What you actually get is good compatibility with mainstream GSM LTE carriers, but not universal plug-and-play. In the US, it's generally fine with AT&T and T-Mobile when you enter the correct APN. Verizon can be hit or miss depending on IMEI whitelisting and plan type, and the listing itself excludes Sprint legacy networks. Evidence: multiple user reviews mention activation hurdles, manual APN setup, and needing to call the carrier to provision the SIM. I had to tweak APN settings on one carrier profile to even get data. They claim you can connect multiple devices and stay productive. What you actually get is stable performance up to around 8-10 devices in my testing, but once you push toward 12-15, throughput divides and latency climbs. That AC1200 label refers to local Wi-Fi link rates, not your internet speed. If your LTE is delivering 40 Mbps total, splitting it across 10 devices is tech roulette. The plot twist: 5 GHz Wi-Fi is snappier at short range, but walls push you back to 2.4 GHz where interference is common. They claim up to 11 hours of battery life. What you actually get is roughly 8 hours of continuous use with 2-4 devices browsing and streaming, and maybe 4-5 hours if you're hammering it with big uploads or tethering a laptop for Zoom calls. Standby is solid and can stretch into days, but wait, there's more. Under heavy load, the unit warms up and may throttle slightly to manage thermals, which also dings battery, security, and convenience. They say secure, portable Wi-Fi. You do get WPA2, a guest network option, and a simple web UI plus the Netgear mobile app. But let's be real. There's no built-in VPN, content filtering, or advanced CoS. It's a simple hotspot, not a travel router with enterprise features. Here's where things get interesting on value. At around $80.99, you're looking at older but proven LTE tech. It's not 5G, and if you need blistering speeds or low latency for gaming or large file work, this isn't your hero. But for email, web, HD streaming, and backup internet when your cable goes down, it does the job when the network cooperates. The 3.7-star rating tracks with my experience. Solid when set up right, frustrating if you expect magic. Speed and network support. In city tests on a mid-tier plan, I averaged 45-75 Mbps down and 1025 Mbps up at 5 GHz Wi-Fi within 10 feet. In a suburban dead zone, it fell to 820 Mbps down. Don't confuse AC797 Wi-Fi with WAN speed. Your bottleneck is LTE. Roaming band support is decent, but always check your carrier's band compatibility and be ready to enter APNs manually. Verizon users, confirm plan compatibility first. Battery life and thermals. Light use with a phone and tablet gave me about 8 hours. Tethering a laptop for calls and downloads dropped it to around 5. Heat is noticeable under sustained LTE uploads, and the unit may reduce throughput slightly to keep temps in check. Quick tip: avoid leaving it in a hot car performance tanks when the battery is roasting. Build and portability. It's pocketable with a small status display and simple buttons. It feels sturdy enough for travel. The downside: charging is not USB-C, which in 2026 feels dated. No fast charge magic here. Plan ahead for long days. Software and management. Setup via the web portal is straightforward. The Netgear mobile app gives basic stats, Wi-Fi settings, data usage, and SMS for SIM verification, but advanced networking features are limited. There's no per-device bandwidth control, and firmware updates depend on region carrier support. What the marketing doesn't mention: you may need to dig through settings to get optimal 5 GHz performance and turn off power saving if it's dropping idle connections. User reviews snapshot. The 3.7 average makes sense. Praises: reliable once configured, good travel companion, decent battery. Complaints: activation hurdles on certain carriers, occasional disconnects under load, and slower than expected speeds from people taking the 400 Mbps number literally. Buy with caution. If you need an affordable, unlocked 4G hotspot for travel, road trips, or as a backup when home internet dies, the Netgear AC797 delivers dependable basics for the price. Pros: portable, unlocked LTE, simple setup, acceptable battery, fair performance in good coverage. Cons: not 5G, speeds depend heavily on your network, compatibility quirks on some carriers, dated charging port, and limited advanced features. At around 80.99, it's solid value if your expectations are realistic. Skip this unless you're okay with LTE era performance, or save your money for a newer 5G hotspot if you need more speed and lower latency. Stay savage out there. Thanks for watching. If this review saved you from wasting money or helped you find something actually worth buying, I've put the link to check current pricing and read more reviews in the description. And hey, if you do decide to buy through my link, it helps fund these investigations without costing you extra. Got questions about your carrier, bands, or setup? Drop them below. Next up, I'm stress testing a budget 5G hotspot under $150 to see if it's a better buy. Subscribe so you don't miss it. This is the channel that cuts through the fluff and saves you cash.